Yeah. Alright, so I get your binoculars. Be on the lookout. Way back. Woo! Did it.
Mm. Hey, monkey. Oh, bless you. Oh, good night, sweet girl. Love you. Oh, James. SW. Do that. This one right here. That way. You're not late. I'm actually kind of early. Yeah, a day late and 45 minutes early. Finishing up what I'm reading here. How are you doing, John? Hope you're doing well. Oh, so you're doing some YouTube prep. That's cool. Always a good thing to do. Tired, frustrated, and excited. Why are you excited? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was your parents that moved. That is exciting. Very cool. Never been to Idaho. Maybe I should add it to the list. Yeah, that may be. But there's always, I'm sure if I looked up some touristy stuff, I will find something. Hoping to go back to Rochester next summer if I'm able to save up enough money and such. I have a lot of things I have to do to make that habit, or not make that habit, but I have to create habits to make that trip happen. I think for next summer. Might have to be 2 summers. I heard there's like, isn't there like a potato hotel? A train would take too long, I think. We haven't really decided how long we want to stay there for either. It all really kind of has to depend on how much although we did talk about doing that. I don't know if I want to drive back there. But again, wouldn't know what we would do for a vehicle once we got out there. Guess if we saved up enough to rent one. But I have a little bit of a while to wait until then. Just have to be really diligent on saving my money and maybe selling some things that otherwise would have gotten rid of. Gosh, I don't know. Just things around the house. Kind of gotten rid of a lot of stuff. But I'm sure, I mean, I always feel like we have lots of stuff. I don't know if it's really monetary value to anyone else, but you can see what happens. Maybe get an extra $10. I sold a lot of my things that were, I guess, worth more money a long time ago. But I don't know. But I definitely buy more things than I need to, that's for sure. So one of my goals for this new coming school year is to not spend any money other than 2 Superman figures that I'm looking for. Not sure if they're out yet. And have not debated whether or not I'm going to buy Pokemon cards because I could drop a lot of money on Pokemon cards. I could just trade all the ones that I have extra right now to get new ones that I don't have in my collection yet with the kids at school, but then that'll be a little tricky. But I just got done organizing all of the cards that I have and stuff. And that was a task. Actually, not quite done with that completely. Just like alphabetizing all of the cards in type, pulling out all of my duplicates. Well, see, I'm not going to sell any card that I don't have a duplicate of. And all of the cards that I have that are duplicates aren't worth very much. They're like commons and stuff. So I'll just bring them to school every once in a while and trade them with the kids. Maybe on Fridays or something. I did pull a full art card that was worth $100, so I was like, ooh, really tempting. But then I would never have it in my collection again. So I was like, I'm going to keep that. Yeah, I was really surprised. Like the one that I found that's a full art was like $98 or something like that, but I think it's because it was like super new. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know what cards I have or rare or whatever like that because I don't pay too much attention. All I do is if I have it, I keep it, and if I don't have it, then I put it in my pile to trade. Don't really care about the prices of cards and stuff like that. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, that was loud. Let's see. It's probably not even cost that much anymore right now. Oh, I have a card missing right there. It is my Tyranitar Our Tyranitar V. I think it's a new one. It was $100, a little less than $100. I don't know what it is now. Actually, not really my favorite card at all. But it's still kind of cool to have it. Yeah, I know it is. Oh, I remember what I was trying to do. Yeah. I'm actually not like super in love with the art print on it either. But still pretty cool that I got it. Yeah, from what it looked like, maybe, but like when I looked up the prices, it wasn't that much. And like this one would be raw. I mean, it's not even PSA graded or anything. I think I have my other one is pretty common as well. I think it came out with the new set, right? It was just in one of those I got a tin, right? And it was actually really good. I pulled some really, really good cards out of that tin. I was super, super surprised. I also got that EVV Max one. It's probably not worth very much. Hello, Carl. It's good to see you in the chat. Just kind of hanging out. My friend John here is really into like Pokemon cards, and his channel is Pokemon themed. So I'm just kind of talking Pokemon cards with him, really. I have a bit of a collection myself. And yeah, what's going on with you? Also, guys, feel free to oh, that's awesome, dude. Just to do the thumbs up. I knew you had a podcast, and actually haven't had any chance to find it or anything like that, but I'm wanting to do it. That's really cool. That's cool. I've seen the Rainbow Rare on other people's channels, but I have not seen it in the wild. I think it would be really cool to do a podcast someday. Yeah, I remember you telling me about it and kind of in what you do as a career, I guess, right? Because that's kind of something that you do is. And I honestly wouldn't know. Oh, I have another duplicate right here I wasn't even aware of. Wouldn't know what my podcast would be about. Something fell down. I don't know what that was all about. That's cool. But it will probably be a while before I get any more cards because I gotta be saving my money for my trip. I'm just like dropping all kinds of stuff now. Really, really not cool. But it's fun to do because when I see Pokemon cards at the school all the time, and I think that would be like one way that I can bond with the kids, and or I don't know, use them for like incentives or something. Yeah, John was just telling me he thinks I might have one card that could be worth a lot of money, but I'm really more interested in like, collecting one of each card. And so I don't really care so much about the monetary value. So I just have a lot of duplicates, and I'm gonna take them to the school, um, and then trade them every once in a while if I can. I don't know, find cards. Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, a true collector would be like, I don't know, not so much interested in having one of every card. But I don't know. I actually have tried to look up videos of um, people who do collect Pokemon cards, but nobody. I've never found anyone said that they have currently one of every card. But I'm pretty sure that that's a thing. They have like a master card set or whatever. But I have not seen or heard anyone claim to have one of every card yet. But I'm sure that it is out there. Not super into the community, but I watch some people open up packs and such. Yeah. Some of those cards are just like so hard to come across because the prices have gone up so much, especially for those OG ones, which I have a neighbor that has some really cool OG cards. Yeah, those are the two that I'm familiar. Yeah, they might be keeping them hush hush. That's probably true. But also, they probably flaunted it and they would get a lot of views on a video if they did. Yeah, Leonhardt is one that I watch sometimes. Unlisted Leaf, I'm aware. E-Drive, I have not heard of. But usually mostly watch self-help videos and stuff. Kind of the space I'm starting to find myself fall into. And kind of reading those kinds of books now. At least attempting to. I haven't posted a video in a couple of days. Yeah, that was before I jumped into it, that's for sure. I didn't start buying them until this early summer, but I have heard that the Happy Meal thing was pretty crazy. Which is kind of funny because, like, I mean, I guess with those cards, you don't know what you're getting, and but like, you can just go to McDonald's and buy all of the toys for like 30 cents a piece or something like that. I don't know how it worked for the Pokemon cards. I guess you didn't know what you were getting. They're probably wrapped up in a pack or something, I'm assuming. Yeah, you find cards that you were pretty cool with? I don't even, like I said, I don't even know what was in there. Yeah, they were in packs. Yeah. I just find cards that I think look cool. I don't know much about all of them. We got into this talking about cards because I was talking about how we're gonna think about going back to New York next summer on a trip, and thinking of how I gotta save up money and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, if I was really like in a fix or whatever, I guess I could sell my cards, but I don't really want to sell the cards I have one of. And all the copies I have are probably like commons and stuff, so they weren't really be worth anything, nor would anyone want to buy them. There are places that will buy bulk cards, but I would have to like learn how to like organize them in such a way that they like you to. So I guess I could get 1,000 cards in bulk or whatever, and then sell them. I don't know. So how has your guys' week been? Have you like any big things happen? Any celebrations to celebrate? Any new goals we're working on? What's going in the life of my friends? Know that need to learn Spanish soon. Yeah. I am not very good at learning other languages. Or maybe I am, I just don't put the time into it. But like I cannot roll my tongue. So that would be difficult to do in learning Spanish. Excuse me. What is the reasoning behind needing to learn Spanish soon? Sorry. Also, coloring a picture, so that's kind of what all of my scratching sound is. I don't know if that's getting picked up on the mic or not. That's cool. Oh, dream until your dreams come true. Yeah, I really like it. It's kind of like a inspirational coloring book. and they have some really good sayings in there. And that's cool. I mean, there's a lot more Spanish speakers out there than there are English speakers, so it would be good to move out into those areas. So I think that is a smart move. Also, very difficult for those of you who, like you having to learn the language. So I wish you all the luck in doing so. Yeah. Also got this one, take chances, but not really into how I colored that one. Got some crazy light going on my face here. Should shake my head. Well, I will say that I don't think that anyone is unable to do anything. It's just that some might have to work a little bit harder to achieve their goal. So, like, I have a really hard time with math. So, I would have to work just a little bit extra hard to learn that to math than some other people. And I would agree that it kind of would go the same thing with learning another language. I would just have to really put the time into it. And it's really got to do with, like, I think having, even with, I mean, you could have a speech impediment in a different language. I mean, that's not gonna, I think that's not gonna in cause you from learning how to say words in a different way. Although I wonder what it would like to be having a speech impediment when you're doing sign language. That's kind of a funny. Have a lisp with your left hand or something. But yeah, even with speech impediments, you can still, if you had a passion and you really wanted to do it, you could do it. You would just probably have to work a little bit harder than some others. As I'm doing this weight loss journey and this kind of work on some of the other goals that I have, kind of learning about myself and learning about some of the personal roadblocks that I've put in front of myself. Because really, it starts with you when it comes to learning and doing anything new. It comes to what you believe in yourself and how you believe in yourself. And that's 70% of it is belief, and then 30% of it is the hard work. Yeah, I mean, like, I never noticed having one. You having one. No one has ever told me about you having one. So maybe it's just one of those mental blocks that you have put in front of yourself, saying like, oh yeah, you had one back in like kindergarten and first grade, and you have since then overcome it, but no one told you that you have. So if you can hide it, then you should be able to hide it and learn another language. I think that is just something that you're telling yourself as an excuse not to. Because I'm always under the impression of being able to do anything. There has to be like really, really something wrong with you to not be able to accomplish a goal that you have. And even if it's like, you know, a physical impairment, like you've lost your limbs or something, or there's still ways on working around weaknesses that you think you have or that you may have to accomplish any goal you have. You just gotta find a way. So I don't fall for that. I can't do it. Well, I mean, having a speech impediment isn't going to prevent you from writing a book. I mean, you're not even talking when you're writing. Right? How does one? I mean, I guess you could write with a speech impediment. I don't know. That would be actually a pretty entertaining book. And with writing a book, man, you just gotta give yourself time and hunker down and just kind of do it. And from what I heard, like even with writing, like you writing a book, like you don't even have to be linear in writing. You don't have to write it from page the beginning to end. Like you can come up with an idea of something that happens in the middle, and you just write that middle part, and then you work your way up to it. And as you work your way up to it, maybe you'll realize that that part you wrote before doesn't really quite fit, so you have to change it, or so on and so forth. I have a book that has a 30 like it's called the 30-day challenge book, and one of them in there is to write a 200-page story in a month. And you just have to sit down and write like I don't remember, like 2,000, like 12,000 words in a day or something like that. Or just like equivalents to like writing for 2 hours a day or something like that. So we're not even worried about talking about your book. You just have to do it. Like forget about all of these labels that other people are putting on you. Like I can't write good, or I can't read good, or all those other like BS labels. Like you just do it. Again, those are just things that you're telling yourself to stop you from doing something you want to do. And if you do have a learning disability or a writing disability or whatever it is, so what? You just learn to work through it. You learn to cope through it. You just have to work a little bit harder than somebody else does, and you just do it. If you want it bad enough and you want to do something bad enough, you just figure out a way to do it. And if you're not finding success in that thing you're trying to accomplish, you're either A, you're not doing it hard enough, or B, you actually don't want it as much as you think you do. Yeah, just do it, man. I don't do Pokemon stuff like on my channel. That's not what I do. And I don't even know what a pack battle is. So, I mean, I'm not super, like I say, I just find cards at the store sometimes and I buy them and I trade them with the kids at school. I think that helps me build relationships with them. But like, so this year when I'm getting put in kindergarten this year as a kindergarten ESP, and we're gonna have like 60 kindergartners in between our three classes, and that's a lot of kids to have outside at one time during a playground. And they're going to hire a second person that kind of help us, and I really hope that happens soon because I'm gonna be like going a little crazy. Not only teaching, like just having the sheer number of that school. So hopefully, some of them or all of them have gone to preschool because that'll help a little bit. Yeah. So again, even just do it. Like you're your own roadblock. Find the right people to help you, I guess. Would be teachable and to practice on said skills. Practice makes better. Used to say practice makes perfect, but nobody's perfect at anything, so practice makes better. Except for Carl. Carl is going to be the most perfect Spanish speaker, and he will know every dialect of Spanish there is because that's the kind of person Carl is. Tell Carl to jump, he'll jump in 150 different languages just to prove that he can. It's a guy who's got some fortitude. I am sure that you will be able to, and you can do anything that you put your mind to, Carl. It's one thing I've always admired about you. So you didn't take crap from anybody. You just went out there and did it. Whatever it is that you wanted to do. And I always admire that in people. That's cool. I took sign language in middle school and was not very good at learning it. But then all kinds of reasons why I didn't do well in middle school. Yeah, it's so true. And so many of us do it, even if we don't realize that we're doing it. Even with the difficulties that you've had in your life, you still have ended up on top. You definitely did not give up, and I admire that in your tenacity. I, on the other hand, still am developing those things because I kind of gave up at an early age. Instead of fighting back, I kind of just stopped trying with a lot of my issues, and now they're coming kind of harder to deal with. But I will conquer. Yeah, you should, John. Shouldn't let anyone tell you that you're bad at doing something or that you can't do something. Just do it because you like to do it. Like, who cares if you're better or worse than anyone else? Just do it because it makes you happy. Unless it's murdering people, you probably should stop doing that. I'm sorry. And probably illicit drugs as well. That's something that you probably should stop doing. Yeah, so you know what I mean. So I should change that to like you should do those things that are healthy mentally, spiritually, physically. If you're doing something that makes you happy but are harming yourself in those ways, then maybe there's a better way to do it. I hope so. I don't need to see you in the news for any reason that's other than you winning a Nobel Peace Prize or something. Just want to see good things, not bad things. So another thing that I find myself having struggle with is the burnout. So I'll get like really passionate about something and get really gung ho, and after about the second week of something, as you can see, I haven't uploaded a video in like 3 days. I've kind of stopped doing some of the stuff that I said I was going to do because I felt like I needed a break and I was burning out. But I'm still trying to make progress. Started to do some intermittent fasting. I was going to think about going on the keto diet, but I don't think that's going to be too successful in that right now because of like everything that keto tells you that you shouldn't be eating is what I eat now. So to kind of switch from a whole 360 degrees will be difficult to do. So that will be something that I will slowly work in as I make better food habits and kind of looking for a more intense video for kettlebell workout. Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't heard too many bad things about it, and I think a lot of people just kind of like it's fun to hate something that's cool, and it's fun or not cool, but it's cool to hate something when the majority of people don't like something, and also it goes against almost everything that we. Yeah, I've never boiled a frog before, but I can only assume. Because like people like to eat sweet stuff and they like their grains and they like their breads and they like all of that kinds of stuff that keto tells you that you shouldn't be eating. Yeah. And like all of that stuff is in everything that we eat. So it's gonna, man, my hair is so going out right now. I should shave it all off. I think I'll do that tonight. But I started off with doing intermittent fasting. I'm doing so ultimately from what I found out for a guy, you will be fasting for 16 hours a day, and then you'll have a feeding period of 8 hours a day. You'll eat for an hour total at a time, like 3 times a day, and you won't eat anything in between. So I'm a constant snacker, and I'm like always eating, and that's really what got me in trouble. And I'm starting to do the 12 and 12. So like you fast for 12 hours, and then you'll have like 12 hours to feed, and then again follow with the only eat for an hour 3 times a day, nothing in between other than like water, just water. And today I did it, and it was difficult for me to go. Um, yeah, yeah. Put the frog in. Yeah, put cold water and warm it up. Yeah, I've heard that before. So with the 12 and 12, yesterday it was really difficult towards the end. Really, because like I want to watch TV and eat food and stuff, so we've kind of omitted. So we eat our main dinners and stuff as a family together without the TV, kind of like to kill that trigger. So we're kind of working on that. And I did eat a little bit over at the end of my day yesterday. And today, since I woke up so late, I was only able to get 2 meals in, and I try to keep it in within the hour time frame. And I don't eat anything after 7 o'clock, and I should be going to bed about 10 o'clock, and then 7 to 7 is when you can eat, and then 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. is when you don't eat, which is essentially how we're supposed to do it. And I'm going to try that for a little while to kind of kick out the habits. And then when work comes around, I figure out when they give me my lunch break and stuff. And then I will adjust and see how that does. Yeah, so essentially, well, I drink water. You can always drink water. Trying to cut out soda. Heavy soda drinker. Heavy in general. But gonna like cut that out because I don't want to get don't feed after 7 like you're a gremlin, right? And yeah, that's another thing is if we're eating for fuel versus eating for fun. And I would like to get into the mindset where I'm just eating for fuel, and I will have my fun other ways in my life. So, I guess if you feed me after 7, I'll just like, wake up gasping for air because I have acid in my throat or whatever, or messes up all my other stuff. I don't change. Well, I guess I could turn grumpy or something, but I don't know. I get grumpy if you don't eat. And I need to get working on my primary lesson for tomorrow pretty soon here. Do that after the end of the stream, I think. Got called to primary about, I want to say, a month ago now. Yeah, I do. I get hangry. I get really hangry. But after 2 days, I have not noticed that. I have noticed that I've actually gotten hungry, which seems to be about every 5 hours, because that's about what I do. I separate my meals every about 4 to 5 hours in between meals, and I've been doing about 5. I could be a bit of a jerk, get a little restless, and I get a little irritated, and so I don't know if you'd like me or not. My wife probably doesn't like me when I get hungry. She might not even like me now. She says she does, but there's still up a debate for that. You're not your house self. Yeah, I don't think anyone is. The Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? If you don't have food, shelter, clothing, if you can't do that, and you can't take care of yourself doing that, then you're not going to be able to efficiently take care of others if you're always worried about those things. I am a big supporter of the Maslow hierarchy of needs. I know that there's some other people who will say other things and why it doesn't work, but I'm a fan of that theory. Learned about it when I was in my 2 semesters of teaching. So it's kind of a pyramid of needs, per se. I don't know all of them, but it basically has like a pyramid of like, yeah, it's true. A pyramid of like how you can be, I don't want to say your best self, but like enlightenment almost. So like at the bottom is like, well, okay, so you need food, you need shelter, and you need clothing. And if you don't have any one of those things, that's what you're going to be worried about doing. So okay, so the top part of the pyramid is purpose. Okay. So you can't find your purpose, you can't figure out what your purpose is if you're not fulfilling something that is happening underneath the pyramid. And you should look it up. I would look it up right now, but if I like not logged off, but went onto another page, like it'll slow down and all that kind of stuff. But that could be something that I will look up and write down, and I can address in one of my future videos, I suppose, if that is something that you'd like me to do, John. Yeah, I was really into like learning how to be a teacher and stuff and all of those things, but I don't think I want to be a teacher anymore. I like the position that I have currently, and it's not as much work intensive. Like I don't have to deal with parents. I don't have to deal with like spectrums and things like that. The job that I have, I really have to just worry about like how to help the students achieve goals and achieve success. Yeah, there it is. From top to bottom. So self actualization is the top. Right underneath it, esteem, loving, belonging. Yeah, so face safety and physiological. Yeah, so that would make sense. And if you like hit all of those categories, then you'll have like your self actualization. But if there's something that is lacking, then you're kind of stressed or worried, or you're focusing, or your outlook is on trying to acquire said goal. Yeah, it is. And there's different theories. Like there's another one that kind of is very similar to Maslow's, but it's a little bit different. Maslow was a I don't know if you can send links in the chat. YouTube usually doesn't let you do that. Um, he was a psychologist. I'm not sure if he was a educational psychologist or not, but he said some pretty interesting things. And there are some other people who kind of disagree with him in some aspects and have their own theories about how it should be or whatever. And yeah, I find psychology super interesting. Those were like some of my favorite classes that I took. And honestly, I think I would want to read up on some other psychology books and stuff. Like it'd just be, I think, fun. Kind of look like one of those old psychology professors or something. Like, tell me more about your mother. Maybe. I'm not super familiar with John, by the way. Honestly, not super familiar with many people who are part of the church and are public speakers. Always thought that would be kind of cool to be able to do it, though, but like I have no platform to, nor am I one to go and write a blog that people will want to read, nor am I someone who is very charismatic is the word I'm thinking of. So you have to like have some charisma, and you want to be able to have people want to come to you and talk to you and be around you and listen to you, and that is not something that I possess, nor is it really something that I think I want to try to do. Yeah, I'm sure it does. And in her case, like she's not even like, well, here's the thing though, like I would just do it, but it's not actually something that I want to do per se. Like I would have to do a whole big change on my personality. Like that takes a lot out of you. And even with Al's case, like I don't even think she gets paid for doing that. I mean, she gets paid for her books, I think, but as far as like going out and making her stuff. Like I read her last book. Um, I got for my birthday. I'm still on the fence whether or not I'm a fan of her style. Yeah, her style of writing. I mean, it's good, but I don't know. I just like to know that I'm supporting someone that I know, even though I don't think I never really hit it off with Al. Even though me and Micah Jones were actually her first home teachers, and we didn't do it for very long. I can only remember one time actually going over to her house, and it was right after I got done with an overnight shift working, and she had like kind of made us breakfast because we kind of came over kind of early ish. It was probably like, I want to say I just had gotten off, so it had to be about 7 or 8 in the morning. And she kind of had a similar working schedule. And I spilled some orange juice on her floor, being half asleep. And she just kind of stared at me and like apologizing and cleaning it up and stuff. And kind of were there for about, I want to say, a half an hour, 45 minutes, gave her the spiel, and that was it. I don't think Micah and I I totally agree. And I think you have to be extroverted to be able to do something like that. And to be willing to do things like that. And I'm really grateful that there are people out there, because I'm sure and I know that she really helps people and really like touches those. And from the way that the church is kind of changing as far as like what is socially acceptable and how what they kind of didn't find socially acceptable is now changing. And I think part of that is the work that she is doing. And I always kind of thought that, even locally, because I'm very different, I feel like, as far as some of these other members of my ward, even just because I grew up differently, I have different struggles than other people do. And I just kind of want to be kind of the voice for people who are like me. And usually the people who are like me aren't the ones that are up there talking about stuff. So when I do get a chance to give talks, which is not often, I try to be as open and candid about it, about things that I see from my perspective. And I know I'm not the only one that has the same kind of perspectives than I do. Because, like, there's, like, the two group of people, and I'm sure you'll understand. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And there's, like, that one group of people who are, like, watching TV is bad and doing this is bad and all of these things that are, like, and it's almost like judging in a way, I kind of feel like. And a lot of that is still kind of part of the old guard. And a lot of those people are not around as much anymore. And more people are very, like, more open to things. And I just kind of like, I sit on my butt most of the time. I do enjoy watching television shows and movies, and which we all do. And, like, I don't know. I just feel like there are some people who are a little bit more conservative, I would guess would be the word, than I am. And I try to just, like, try to be that voice for the not so conservative people, I suppose. And I very much, even though I've been a member of the church since I was 9, and very much could say I'm a convert or a lifer. Yeah, you could say stuck up. That would probably be a word that some people would use. But and it seems like the people who are stuck up have the much louder voice than those who are not. So really grateful for, like, people like Al who are out there who are, doing, yeah. And I still feel like I relate more to those people who are converts, who are still newly to the church and are still having, like, their habits that they do and the things that they enjoy that are not maybe so savory in the church, but are still trying as hard as they are. I just kind of want to let them know that it is okay and that we all struggle, like Carl said. And I think that there are less and less people. I heard that John had mentioned Utah, and I know that Utah culture is a little bit different than what we all grew up in New York. Yeah, so I don't know. And Wyoming is pretty cool. Like I really like living out here. I really like the ward that we're a part of right now. Um, I live in Casper, so we got announced that we have a temple coming. So super excited for that. Um, I've never truly felt worthy of going to the temple, so like I never really gone too much. So the last time I've been inside a temple was when I got married 8 years ago. So I'm really excited to like really like get myself in shape, spiritual shape to do that and to start having some experiences, finishing some family work and stuff. So that's my TED Talk. Thank you for participating. Truly, though, I'm really grateful that you guys are popped in today and are here with me. It makes the streaming so much better. Yeah. So that's really cool that you're getting one. Man, like I think it's cool that you live there, John, and I would like to go visit there because I've heard some things about Thule. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, right. You don't need to be perfect, but there are still some things that prevent you from being able to go into the temple, in which I am struggling with. And I'm having a very, very hard time to not struggle with them. And I talk about those in my video. And I'm more happy to talk about, I mean, I can talk about them now as well. It's not like, I mean, yeah, I'm ashamed of it because I partake, but it's not like I'm a hush hush about it. I just not have found the right method in which I need to that has seen success with my problems. Yes, I am. I am trying to correct them. And it's hard to like when you fall into your old habits, because really that's what it is. It's a bad habit. When you fall back into your bad habit, it's really hard to like not to beat yourself up because you really want to see that the end of it. Like you really want to be able to be like to a point in your life where like, yeah, I can walk into any temple I want to and I have a recommend and I'm good to go. And you want to see that and you want to be there, but when you fall and you trip and you stumble, and that prevents you from doing those things, and it's really hard, or it's really easy to just like, you know, beat yourself up on it. And of course, then you're feeling bad. It's a whole circle. Then you're feeling bad, and when you're feeling bad, you go back into your problem because feeling bad is a trigger, and then like this whole large circle of whateverness. And to break that circle is one of the hardest things to do with any kind of bad habit that you're trying to get rid of, no matter what degree of badness that it is, because that's what you're used to doing. So, grab my squish ball here. But yeah, at some point in my life, I will say that I have successfully conquered well, can never say conquered, but successfully found the success that I'm looking for. And that's all you really can do. I got all these little tattoos on my forearm, putting them on with my daughter today. Yeah, it's really true. And I found that the only reason why they get judgy is just because they don't understand. And then, I don't like look at them or, like, how dare you say those kinds of things. I just feel pity and feel happy that it's not something that they themselves have to deal with. Yeah, my daughter, we were putting them on today. So, yeah, I'm going to be walking around church tomorrow with all these temporary tattoos. I guess I could just rub them off in the morning. Yeah, well, I have never, um, I guess, truly come across somebody who was like that. I just think, good for you. You don't have to struggle with that. Um, but I never get the impression that they can do no wrong or that I need to worship them. It's just that they don't know what it's like with that particular struggle in their lives. And awesome that they don't. Yeah, I'm sure. I also know that people who do struggle tend to overcompensate in church, feeling like they need to be more a particular way because they have to be seen as one way when really they're doing the opposite outside of church. Well, and a lot of people can really make you not want to do those things, but remember, you're not going to church for anyone else other than yourself. And because that's what you should do, and you're there to take the sacrament, and that's what you believe that you should be doing. And it's not because you're going there to be seen by other people. You're not even really there. Like, I do very little socializing there. And now that I'm teaching the youngers, I do even less because I'm with them every week. I just go keep my nose to the ground, take notes if I hear something that I like and that is good and that I can use in my arsenal, and kind of that's it, really. I struggle a lot sometimes. For a long, long, long time, I've not wanted to go to church. And then when COVID hit, it was a struggle for me. It's a struggle for me to get up and go. Even right now, I'm excited to go, but as soon as that alarm wakes up tomorrow morning and I'm in the shower and stuff, I'm going to be like, I do not want to do this. Yeah, totally. People are people. I just want to be able to spread kindness and love, and it's really easy to just say negative things about people and do negative things to other people, and it's really hard to just love everyone else when you're not feeling loved yourself. It's a lot easier just to be kind to people. My form of kindness is usually not getting in anyone's way, you know. I guess I could be more kind and shake someone's hand at church or sit next to someone I feel like I don't know or something, but I don't do that. Yeah, and you know what? Like, don't let the people prevent you from partaking in that. Like, that's what Satan wants you to do, right? First, you stop going to church, and then you start slipping on some other things, and then before you know it, you're just like you haven't read scriptures in 3 years, and you're not really caring about the kind of stuff content that you're watching, and you're not teaching your kids the right thing to do, and you're just like, in all intents and purposes, an inactive in your inactive in life, and active in what you believe, and active in whatever. Yeah, I agree with that. That's kind of the way to live, Carl. I remember there was this guy. Well, you gotta get going on that, dude. Gotta make that a goal. I have a hard time reading them as well because you read the same book over and over and over again. It's kind of boring, right? But you don't have to read them. You study them. You find a particular topic in which you're interested in learning, and you find the topic in the scriptures. Like, you don't have to read it from cover to cover. You use it like a textbook. That's why you have a back in it. But you should be opening it every day, which I will say that I don't do, and I need to, but it's still something you should be doing. We could all, like, I would like even commit myself. Well, then listen to it online. Like, go to the church app and have the computer read it for you. Like, do it. There's like so many different ways to be able to get the message and to partake in said message that you just decide not to do because you don't like it doing it one way. Like, there's other ways to do it, my dude. Yeah. And I would even challenge you, John, and Carl too, if you want to be a part of this. I don't know if you're a frequent scripture reader, that we can all just like do it every day for a certain amount of time. And then, I don't know, we can report back on what the experience was. And then maybe we can like figure out an incentive to give each other at the end of said goal. If that's something that you're interested in doing, John, we can support each other in that goal, because I am someone who um, works well with incentives. Yeah. I have not heard of that. And I'm really curious to learn more about it. Just fell from off my computer screen. That kind of scared me a little bit. Interesting. Not ever have been on my mission. It would make sense why I would never have learned about it. It's kind of another one of those things that maybe I wish I'd done, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about me not going on a mission. See, that's interesting that you say that, John, because I'm going to count. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to call you out. Because I remember about a year before you left, you were telling everybody that you had went on a mission to Florida and that everybody was saying, no, you didn't go. And you're like, yeah, I went like a year ago. I'm like, dude, a year ago, you were sitting on my couch playing video games. And then you're like, well, yeah, I can show you my name tag, which of course you could because it's pretty easy to find a name tag, especially when you've had brothers go on a mission. So I'm really glad that you're admitting that you never did. And when at one point you were telling people that you did. Because that kind of ruffled my feathers there when you were doing that. Partially why I kind of stopped talking about. Yeah, I mean we've all been there. And I'm glad that you've learned your lesson. So anyway, what can you tell us about this doctrinal database, Carl? Hold on. My little baby girl just came out of her bedroom kind of crying, and that got me sidetracked a little bit. Okay, get a notebook where you can rearrange the pages. You take the chapters in the Teach My Gospel. Then when you read scriptures, you put down notes that are related to. Okay, so you kind of take, so you connect the particular scripture to the topic in the Preach My Gospel. Is that what you're, so like if you're reading about honesty or you're reading about some kind of principle, then you would link the particular scriptures to that topic? Okay. So in my so not only am I doing primary, I'm also doing activity days, kids, and I was looking up activities, And one of the activities was to get like a little box or something that you would put like recipes in, and then you start doing a topic um, recipe box or something. So, like, if you found like a quote or a scripture or something that really kind of stood out to you, you would put it in that category. So, if you say you get asked to talk about baptism one day at church, then you can go and flip to your baptism category, and then you'll have all of this kind of stuff that you found that you enjoyed. So, I really like that. I don't even know if I have a preach my gospel anymore, but I honestly feel like that is something that I want to do. And I think that would probably be like the best way to do it for me. Because I have books. Is it on the gospel mobile the what it, for the what I looked up for activity days? No. That I searched up just Google, and I think it was coming up on like Pinterest or something. Because I was really kind of struggling with coming up with ideas. Oh yeah. I am man, if I could have a hard copy, I would take a hard copy than over an app any day. And I'm pretty sure I have one somewhere. And I'll start doing that. Because honestly, I think you've just by telling me that, you have helped me with my not knowing how to study the gospel very well. And that will help me with that. So how would you like set up the pages? Or do you just like, again, I guess, because my mind gets very weird when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, but I will find a way. But I think that is going to be how I start to do things. Yeah, I haven't quite figured it out. Like, I feel like my brain makes things a little bit too complicated, and that's why I give up on a lot of stuff, because I overcomplicated things. But yeah, database is something that I want to do. And I keep thinking about like all of the things I want to do, and I forget about the day one stuff. So, but yeah, thank you for enlightening us on that, Carl. And that is something that I think I'm going to do. And I don't know if you're doing that currently. And maybe that's something that you could do too, John. And we could start doing some databases. Yeah, I would like to take a look at that. Could get like a little bit of an idea on how to set a page up, because like I'm just thinking of like having like a notebook, 3-ring binder, and just having like a cover page of like, this will be baptism, and then behind it will be all the little things I find on baptism. But my problem is that I get so obsessed with like one particular topic that I'm going to want to find every little itty bitty thing that was ever said about baptism, and then Cool. But then after I do that, and then I'll have all this stuff on baptism, but then I'll be burnt out and not want to move on to the next topic when I should be doing multiple, like more than just one topic. So I just need to kind of like slow myself down and do little stuff every day so I don't burn myself out. Right. Because it's a lifelong journey, not a week and a half journey and you're done. This is something that you will learn and continue to learn and to progress your whole life. And that is something that I'm learning with this weight loss thing. It's a little bit at a time. And it doesn't matter if somebody else is way more ahead of me or if there's somebody is way below. If there's somebody behind me, then you want to help them to bring them up to your level, but don't compare yourself to everyone else. Yeah, if it was easy, it would not be worth it. And that's really the end of the day. That's about everything, right? Cool. Cool. Well, I think that is actually a really good ending to this stream. If, unless there's something else that you guys want to chat or talk about, this is a place to do that where we can support each other and to motivate each other. I mean, I got lots of motivation and support out of this group alone. Like, man, I'm pumped. I'm ready for the week. I'm excited to do some new things. Awesome. Thank you, Carl. You have enlightened me and you have filled my cup this evening. And so has PKM Sykes. You have filled the cup for today. And I'm good to go for next week. So, yeah, I will return with my live stream. Usually my plan on is Friday, but I can do Friday and Saturday or just Saturday, depending on what's going on. Yesterday we kind of had a board picnic and I completely forgot, but I'm glad I went on today. I will start uploading videos again tomorrow. Hopefully I will have more and better things to say. And yeah, you guys have a good night and I will see you on the next one. Yeah. I'm glad you got that notification too. All right, I'm going to click end on this.